a lot of resources domestically put into ensuring this roster's success.
Yes, Great Britain.
France has 6 assistant coaches and 1 head coach.
Okay.
Hey, listen.
You're bringing a lot.
Okay,
of
Japan's running the BAP Brig
coach to player ratio is
Sigma
bonkers,
comp. You know what? So France isn't running that rush comp I was referencing.
Both sides to set things up.
France is running more of like that May, like, it's like you can rush if you want to with a good wall, but like you play poke for a while. Because the May can right click across the map.
You know, like a projectile player.
Japan does have the Bastion. You know, we see Echo Bastion. I don't think we've seen much of that comp yet, have we?
So to speak, but here France already take a very strong position on point.
Also, you see what just happened to the Sigma right there? That's just you get walled off and then hope for the best.
The Echo setup, right? The Bastion can put down tons of damage and then just
you know what? That was an excellent play though.
But it looks
that play by Japan was like excellent.
Drops down and tries.
They basically went around the map, waited for the rush to happen, and the moment the rush happened, they countered with a bunch of stuff.
Damage, but it doesn't matter. Japan cleans it up.
Yeah, I mean, they play for this high ground, right? I don't know if France, they're aware of this, right? France want to move
That was really good.
Make use of the Sigma, buy themselves a lot of time, but NatLox gets pressured really heavily by Kuki there at the start of the fight. And there, it's pretty tough then to keep the rest of your team hale and hardy, where a Bastion is raining down from that high ground. Japan now.
So they're set up, yeah. See the Echo? So in the bottom right of the screen, the Echo is down here spamming. If you look to the left side, they have a BAP over there. What they're trying to do is they're trying to get one person to be the bait, and then they engage as that fight happens. The reason why they're disengaging now is because Japan went and took like high ground control. I mean, not Japan, France did. So then Japan is going to disengage backwards, and then now it's going to be a little bit more even. They're going to try to time this correctly. They didn't give up the point. I don't think they meant to. It looked like they were going to be on the point. Yo, this is
pretty frightening. A lot more durability now added to the mix, and of course the prophetic flux threat is always present. Again, easy.
The way that Japan's playing this right now,
dude, Japan's spacing is crazy.
Continue.
Yeah.
Extend their lead.
Still, you see that.
Well, I was just talking about that. I'm like, they set up a
so good at it.
Well, yeah. If you looked at the Echo on the bottom right, and then they rotated around, and they keep flipping the Echo to the other side.
Yes.
So they're constantly on an off angle, and then what they're doing is they're baiting the Sigma. Like they're having the Sigma play a little bit too aggro to force the wall, so the Echo comes in with the right-click burst damage, and they hope that the lamp can help them survive. And then they rotate like this. Sigma will always be out of position like that.
They got a first pick again.
Yep. I mean, this is going to be a bit of an overall by France, like in general, so they might lose this, but maybe not.
Wait, no, maybe not. Because they have rally.
Kuki gonna try and work his way through the back as Nico staved off by Min.
This is like
able to move in numbers for the time being.
Oh, they committed flux though. Maybe not.
I don't know. Like the Echo.
They got another pick though.
I think they might take this first round of this COD.
They don't
even have to fight them. They just sit back. They have points.
Yeah, no. What's happening right now, by the way, is Japan is baiting them into the Sigma. Like the Sigma's out of position almost on purpose to try to get them to do that. France did switch to Bastion though, so they're making a hero swap.
Taking this first point.
99-13 here, not a great start for France, and FD God almost goes low. They're just
gonna ult right now. This is a perfect ult time.
France always on Bastion?
Yeah, I mean, sorry, they're on. I don't remember who they started on. I swear they were on something else.
I thought they were always on Bastion.
No, they were on Bastion.
Using immortality field to help him and his teammates survive after the fact, but KSG
will wait, actually, still maybe nah. Okay, they're gonna win that fight.
Still 3v3. And they haven't flipped the point yet, so they're gonna commit as much as they can.
Yeah, I think they still win though. They have the Sigma up. They should be. But the way they space these fights is actually insane.
Yep.
Because like, you're right. They commit on the Sigma or whatever happens, and then either the Echo or the Bastion is with like the Brig or the BAP, and they just kill somebody free every fight.
I mean, essentially they just rely on the
from Nico because
if the lamp can keep their Sigma alive, they will win the team.
Yeah.
That's where they're at right now. That's how they play it.
There's just too much damage.
Like you see them. Look at the map right now.
That looks
the Echo and the Brig are flanking.
They're always together. It's not one person.
Yep.
Force lamp would leap immediately, but he has.
May's actually a good spot there.
Oh,
yeah.
Looks like issues with.
No
looks
way.
Like looks like he had to make a tweet.
On the side of Team France.
Yeah, make a tweet.
He
brought his phone over.
I mean, that is going.
I think his headphones aren't working or something.
Oh.
Team all the energy they can.
I mean, the few times we've been to.
Oh, we're back in. Oh, it's live.
They
were gonna win this anyway. They had
incredible. I mean,
well, maybe not.
Yeah. Like esports fan base is just like I was talking about. Once we get back in the game, a fast fight that goes in favor of Japan.
Yeah, again, that first pick is absolutely massive here. Kuki now wants to chase FD God down, who has to use the soul.
So I don't know the names of the maps yet. But if this goes to the beach map, I don't think they can play that the exact same way.
FD Gold was not long for this world, and nor the rest of Team France here. Japan come out of the gates with the Bastion.
Good start by Japan.
They use the high ground, and they convert.
Good start by Japan.
Really nice comp there from Japan. The Bastion with that Echo combination going up against the Mei, right? The Mei want to play like a little bit more like control on the ground, where if you can keep your tank alive really kind of through some of that damage and, you know, through the wall that comes through, you're going to be able to, you know, win fights pretty convincingly just like that. And it looks like we're going to have some.
Let me see what I missed here. I missed any subs. I missed a sub, and then I'll try and check as soon as I can. Thank you for the love, everybody.
Here. That would be a little bit surprising. But from Team Japan, again,
good start so far,
in
though.
The same vein as Australia had, looking to demonstrate a bit more depth here. Again, the
I don't know if, this map. This is the map I don't think they can play the same way.
More limited on this particular stage, but the Doomfist
because look at how the map's designed.
Pressure as we head to beach.
Yep, they're not on the Echo. See,
this point is like very.
See, they're not on the Echo. I don't think they can play the map the same way this time.
Like it's like, you know, down underneath like this kind of main play area where having some of that verticality there with the Doomfist can help out.
France don't have a flanker here to pressure this solo position that Nico's been playing with on the side of Team Japan. So good opportunity for Nico to set up in comfortable sight lines, provided that Avo doesn't pressure him down.
Main Sojourn, yeah, this makes sense.
So there is a Tracer here for Japan, and they are doing exactly what we'd expect. Constantly.
Wait, that wasn't even a shot. They got him with the.
It's caught in like a long-range disruptor shot there.
Nice.
And Avo's gonna be able to clean up the Tracer as well. That's both DPS for Japan.
Good job.
Out of the picture.
Yeah, I'd love to see that like long-range disruptor shot, because like. That's typically not one we see get kills at range, right? Like end of fight.
But you notice how like at this point Japan isn't able to play that same style. That's what I was, because if you look at this map's design, it's really cool. Like you can't really take those off angles as much, and where the point's at, there's a lot more cover. So like,
the ladder might be
it's a smart play by Japan what they're doing right now. They're trying to take the point with the Tracer. But like they're gonna be able to touch the point over and over again. Ooh, nice job. That honor grenade timing was perfect. I think this is going to give the point.
I went quiet there because my TikTok died. I don't like do technical difficulties, but that last round was kind of nuts. I wonder why they're playing Doom now.
He's in a world of trouble. I mean, that looked like
I was saying it a little bit before. Like you can't play the same way on this map. Look at how the map. Look at the map design here. You can't take those like side angles because it's just too much cover. So they had to switch up a comp to try to like.
Now they'll have a nano boost to work with. So
I know why they went like Kiri Sojourn, right? Because of that, but why the Doom though?
In playing.
They're running the Tracer with it. Maybe they want a combo with Tracer because they don't expect the Tracer to be able to get full value until the Doom engages. Maybe. When it comes to like hero selection on Doomfist on this map, I mean, I didn't even know this map was called. Like I know what Smoa is. I don't know what this is like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know what this is actually called either. To be fair.
You know what it probably is? It's a good disruptor comp against this, so that teams can't play static up on that.
Even though the Mega was there.
I mean, I didn't know it was there either.
I didn't know that either.
I just saw it, and I now know. I won't forget.
Just to maybe try and find.
It's probably a disruption comp. They just have the Doom go in, engage, and if basically if there isn't a good Mei wall used, or if Poco doesn't hit the rock, then the Doom gets out and the Tracer gets value.
You know, with his block, and then starts building up shields.
They're playing this very well.
Now against this Bastion, it's going to make KSG second guess diving in there a little bit.
Means though Nico now might have a safer sideline to post up on here. It's going to be a little bit harder to put pressure at him in a long range.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. That's exactly what
I couldn't even tell.
And here comes Nico.
You said, what'd you say?
Was that empowered punch? I couldn't even tell.
I don't know. I forgot. That was already 5 seconds ago.
Poco on the pointy, but great chase there. Nico spots the other Nico dropped to the
That's what they're doing though. They're just engaging in with the Doom and just trying to like just basically disrupt him as much as possible. Give time for the team.
Just the one here going too low.
Doing a great job at stalling though.
Yeah. Here, mind Japan didn't win the first fight in this either, and they already have it 82%.
Uses like, let's say Seismic Slam gets in, right?
What does
Rocket
Japan have
punch,
here?
whatnot.
Pulse Bomb.
When he goes to power block,
I wonder if they dive in with the Doom before the Pulse Bomb play, try to force out something really early, and then
lands
Pulse.
that rock. I mean,
it might even nano him too.
Be dead in theory, right? I know you should be able to get that kill on KSG. He's gonna have to use
we'll
all
find
of
out
his
in a second.
cooldowns if they're back.
They
up
just use a
to get
rock.
Out, so makes it very difficult.
I think I saw the thing on. Like it showed like stars next to the Kiriko like they got rocked.
But Unperturbed still wants to go for a gravitic flux.
Here it is.
Oh,
wow,
the timing.
Oh my.
That was perfect. That was literally like, oh my god.
That was like pixel perfect on the time.
That actually was pixel perfect.
And Team Japan are back in control.
What a play.
Once more.
At that point, if you wanted to ask a strategy, that was just have your Tracer go in and win.
Little Christmas sweater.
Yeah.
And the amount of times we see people
just go in and kill 3 low.
That, you know, immortality field just ends up
that
saving
was really
somebody.
well played.
Being able to connect the pulse bomb, then just destroy the immortality field right away as France
we
makes
have
some
now.
last-minute changes.
Window from France is good here, though. Now, obviously, it's a little bit more of a staggered fight, though, but that window can make it a little more difficult.
Wait, the Sombra swap.
Maybe to get back to point quicker, like prevent any of the... Yeah, that's a good
He
swap.
still eventually gets brought down anyway. Kyuki doesn't let him hit.
Oh, the double Bastion on him, though. Uh-oh.
Oh, that's not good.
And that's 2 comfortable kills. The duo of Mint and KSG.
I think the Sombra's gonna do enough damage.
And France will get it
Yeah,
back.
it's unfortunate.
Yep, that Bastion on him.
Yes, you're probably going to have one more fight here to decide this.
Probably stay on the Sombra in case you get a quick EMP.
So,
Tracer's close to Pulse again.
You're
Doomfist.
still going to have this Sombra in the mix, which you haven't seen really that much. Obviously, the
I think this is a
rework just
scout
comes
Nelson for
through,
this
so.
exact reason, yeah.
Hillary. Yeah, able to live though.
It's Bastion. I can't even comment on it. Yeah, that's an ult.
A little bit of a scary moment to try and avoid that mortar strike.
They do the target, yeah.
Fane going down to the low ground here, but the sound barrier gives him enough durability.
Yeah,
needs to be.
Wow. Yo, I gotta give credit to France. That was not looking winnable on this round. That play by Bastion was unbelievable.
And the rest of Team France digging their heels, and that will give them the win here.
Damn, dude, they pulled that back.
Yeah, that was well played.
It's really just having that sound barrier there.
So now they're going to like the more like.
If you don't have that sound barrier,
I want this next map feels like a rush map to me.
Right? I mean, Poco.
It's like the control center of this map.
Didn't really impact it that
so
much as you have
what is the
that
comp we're
extra
gonna see
durability without Lucio ult to go on in.
On both teams. There's no way they play the Diva comp here, right? Unless they're just like, you know what, heck it. This is our strategy.
We got to see the only other time we got to see Samoa in a competitive setting might have been the show match, if you want to call that competitive. I guess
competitive setting. Oh man,
it's a slightly loose terminology for it here. But so far, both of these teams.
Oh, they didn't think the show match was competitive.
I watched, you know, Danny's play and is, you know, taking some tips to go into this one.
All right, here we go.
Probably KSG is my thinking. Again, Poco being in here and not being sort of obviously
Sigma rush comp. I say rush comp when I say rush because they have a Lucio. Like
definitely known more as like a
you can play fast.
And Diva player with plenty of Zyro, even some Hog in the mix here. So
oh no,
expecting one of those more static tanks from him. But what a great start! Kyuki falls to hyperspheres. And now the creation is just going to be able to reposition, but actually got his picked off on the other side.
I don't know where to start.
Even it up right there.
Yeah, that was a huge pick.
Did you kill him the May? Almost.
The kickoff on the Kyuki at the beginning is huge, right? Because the Tracer really kind of.
I don't know who's going to win this one.
With this
team fight.
Play together, finish.
Okay, the point goes to. Point goes to Japan right away, which is always
looks like a rock that's going to connect on the KSG, but it looks like able to live.
Yeah, Poco's doing a very good job of tracking KSG's movements and making sure he can disrupt him with those accretions as they become available.
That's exactly what it is.
Like that.
First, it's up to France.
What in the world?
I like this echo swap. I think
there's
there's
just
a lot of like
hiding them away.
Positions that you can play from here. A lot of really interesting off angles.
Wow. Oh, that flank is so sick. Nico's caught there in ice block and no one turns around because Poco's too busy dealing with KSG front and center. There were 3 players from Japan that had wrapped around the point there, and it gives them a bit of an extension on capture progress, but maybe not much more than that here.
I think they can still win this. They have Doom ult. Oh, the rock!
That's fine. A little bit more percentage.
I think that Doom ult might have given them an opportunity to hold the point because they had a couple people coming back. That rock was huge.
In France,
Yup,
you can kind of see like when.
That was good. That was one of those situations, Chad. That was a good team fight for both teams. Japan got close to 40%, built up ultimates. France won the point, and is building up ultimates. That's like one of those situations where it's like good for
group healing.
Both teams.
Sometimes too much,
in my opinion.
Cloud.
Get Nano the Echo here. I mean, you could easily find a kill that way.
Last time we saw KSG get that Nano just to give him a little bit more of that leeway to play aggressively. Double Bionate connection though. Cloud making good use of that vantage point here. That's the Meteor Strike coming in. Immortality Field did have to be deployed by Natlox. Kyuki though finds himself in the thick of things, and all of a sudden is duped. Lucio? Okay.
Yeah, why not? Speed boost.
They're getting kills, and they keep flipping the point. It's crazy.
Yep. Japan do flip the point back. That lack of mobility from France puts them in a position where they struggle to respond quickly enough.
Uh-oh.
Serious pressure on Natlox.
Yeah, the reason why I said uh-oh is that right there.
A little bit of an awkward situation to be caught in coming out of that duplicate, Matt.
That's why I saw that Echo go into the room. I'm like, uh-oh.
This fight here with the rally, and Nico found Poco.
Yeah,
good disengage by France, but they need to go in quick, but they're taking too much damage.
Fight this, right? You're just walking into the rally with that Doomfist there, the Sojourn as well as gonna have to back up.
France has window, Mail, Sojourn. They can just win with Mail here. This is gonna go really in. This can go in France's favor if they do this right. They need to either lead with a window or a Mail. Don't use both.
One more fight in this map potentially for France. They're gonna open up here with the Matrix KSG. Block available. Not when the wall came up though, so that's why he takes so much damage initially there and will be brought down. France have yet another chance to claw this round back.
I think they could have won that with window. At the same time, I didn't have the same point of view that they had during that, so I can't really be like, oh, this is exactly what happened there.
Trying to build up some shields there, and
yeah, they did use both exactly. Yeah,
when he's going in.
Here's the switch. Nico over to the Tracer.
Tracer makes sense here.
Maybe the thinking here is that more pressure on that Ana or maybe even a pulse bomb deployed in Mint's direction.
It just gives you more opportunity to go to their back line. Plus to follow up in any of these shots.
Once more, KSG appears and quickly disappears with that meteor strike. Wants to still partake in the fight. No one's going to be forcing any mortality field out so early. And empty gob is still
lost their Lucio. That's beat.
Doesn't want to hang around here.
They lost their beat if they were going to get it here.
Out of the mix means there's a 4 versus 4 and France are in control. They've got a safe position to play this Sojourn from.
Yeah, but I wonder if Japan knows, right?
Lucio's already back.
So close to sound barrier. I wonder if there's an opportunity to take advantage
of
this.
No!
There's that sight line paying off here, but
they do have beat though.
In the other direction, Nico over to catch Avo out here. KSG.
Yeah, they would have managed to use beat.
Now. Perhaps he considers something more of
an good job by Sigma getting out of that position.
Towards the point here. Block is available. Going to throw it up just in time.
I did not expect to see that.
Not before he got rid of FD Gob with that punch. Natlocks, Nico, huge amounts of pressure going their way. It forced a recall from the Tracer player, and Poco has to go for
they flip point. Oh no.
It's going to be a desperation matrix for France, but it's not enough. The players looking to benefit from it got taken out instantly by Nico, who finds 3. And now Japan see France in their death throes. Nico over to stand proudly on the point.
Wow.
Just the dregs for France coming in. And that is not
remember how I talked about that cohesion and teamwork?
No way.
Take our first.
Is that teamwork?
Man, some 6 shots there from Nico. I think he had the benefits of a nano boost as well.
Well played.
With the nano
that was
boost,
so well played. Their spacing is so good.
Yep. Well, that's what I was talking about. Like they have that synergy as a team too. You can tell they play together for like a while because like they just
maybe watching it.
Like you could someone gets in trouble. Like you saw like the Brig get 2v1.
Yeah.
And the Brig would die, but they would take 2 because someone would turn and help.
Like for example, that first map we saw. It's easy to say, hey, go flank as Brig and Echo.
On that Doomfist, showing off some pretty insane
and actually go and do that correctly.
It's frightening.
Yep.
Like you can go and flank there, but doesn't mean you're going to play correctly. But those are hand warmers. Must be cold in there.
Footage of your opponents, but the experience of playing against them and seeing those regional differences, man, that's a real test.
Yeah, and typically between regions, right, there's different compositions that arise or favorites of.
Are we spectating bronzes?
That's what's so awesome about a World Cup and like international events. Right? You see all of that kind of merged together.
Oh my god.
Japan with a wrecking ball.
Is there a lot more games? I think it's like 3 more after this.
Composition here off the rip. Interesting as well, like the Lari with the Ana comboed with the ball, like really kind of relying on the Ana to provide a lot of healing here for this wrecking ball.
Your execution with this composition has to be picture perfect, though. France are playing a very tried and tested, a very durable.
I did not expect to see Wrecking Ball play. This is going to be very interesting.
The Bastion and the May, but we've seen Wrecking Ball comps be able to disrupt this as well. They're so good at
their comp is
that setup, that positional play that the Sigma
like a DPS comp, kind of.
Nice wall attempt there from Nico. KSG though is
huge Ana grenade on their back line.
He was able to get away.
I don't know.
It's a mortality field.
No how? Thanks for the 100%. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't.
Well, but is able to get away. Is in a bit of an odd spot though, with only 180.
I don't really know.
Shielding is going to give him a little bit more durability, but he needs to get away, and that's slower than May makes it.
As much as I would love to give you some analysis right now, I think the idea is that the Wrecking Ball is just going to engage in, and they're just going to do a bunch of the DPS. Like their comp with the Ayari and. It's like a map control situation.
Getting Poco right in the mix.
So like I think it can actually. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say. Now they're on Doom. Yeah, okay. That makes a bit more sense now.
I would actually say like, you look across the roster right now in terms of tanks, like Wrecking Ball is really.
Now it makes more sense.
At least off the top of my memory, like the only one that really hasn't had like a moment in Overwatch 2, right? Where like they've been like really strong or a go-to. It feels like everybody else has had moments, opportunities, even Roadhog, right? It's just Wrecking
here we
Ball's
go.
not able to make work in some of these comps.
We've definitely seen some teams flirt with the
Ooh, almost had him.
We saw that from Donghack a fair bit this year at times.
Hmm.
Eventually that was sort of...
Yeah, there we go.
They
knew the cooldown was there. They need to play around the window, like play around it. Ooh, that ult actually is a lot better than it appears. Just because they're going to be super low in there. Okay, got the Bastion turret form right away. Oh, yeah. I think Japan might take this team fight.
The Bastion is timely as ever. And now QQ can wrap around, maybe make some use
Oh,
of
just ran around in circles so they can never get to him.
It's a kill on the way out here. Not too shabby. Japan, though, going to begin this.
Gotta get to a health pack.
Yeah, we'll see if they're able to do it. Looks like
actually kind of a smart play because the health pack is the expected location.
God work in the outside as well.
Such an FD God thing to do. Look at him. Straight
Lucio's
forward,
going.
Healing pylon. He does remove it, but does he put himself in harm's way here? Wasn't rather FD God.
If it works, it works, right? But I don't know if it's working.
Solo one, but I'm afraid France, the rest of them would probably have liked some more durability from that in that fight.
Yeah, maybe you'd love to have that sound barrier back, and I mean, you could see like. So
hey, not
when
bad.
You're talking about like Doom versus the.
No, I was
Ball,
saying
right?
like the beat right
Doom
there.
Really kind of wins out in like every.
I have to say,
like,
Japan plays this very well. I am
easier on ball, right? Like the slam.
I'm very
just,
surprised.
Rolling in, knocking players around. Like Doom also does that with like seismic slam and the punches and whatnot. And also just has like more control over his mobility, right? Where ball, you're gonna need to like latch on to stuff, get that movement right. Doom, it's fairly simple.
KSG trying to command the high ground here. The Gravitic Flux though might.
I'm waiting.
In that plan. A little bit of harassment from the low ground, but KSG is unperturbed here. Wants to try and knock that signal around as much as possible. It's unclear what value was found with that Gravitic Flux.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
this is okay. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm just like, I'm trying to learn how they're playing this comp. I think what's gonna happen next is Doom is gonna wait for Echo to get back. Is gonna go high ground, engage with the ultimate, and try to basically distract them with the play, or at the very least get some cooldowns out. I think that's what they're gonna do. They're on the Bapayari now, which Bapayari is a comp that's just a really like high damage output comp. So I'm expecting just to see like an aggressive Doom play here shortly.
Not the normal pick that we see him on.
So they lost their Echo. So they lost the exact play they could go for. Yeah, I was gonna say. I think the idea was that you go at the same time with the Echo, but as the play was happening, the Echo died, and you lost that play. Right? And no, if France loses, they wouldn't be eliminated. The way this works is that it's a group play, so they have other matches to play. That's how it works.
Now you'll see Japan. They'll make a change. It'll actually be moving away from Doom, and they'll actually play the Sigma here. So no Bastion in play. They'll stay with the Sojourn and Echo for now, but this will give them a little bit more
we'll see what happens.
control. They're going to play a little bit of slower pace now.
We can see the thinking behind this map pick for Team France.
Yep.
They've really been able to control the pace and force Japan away from that aggressive composition, but nothing's going to stop Nico.
Yeah, I mean, that's why if you look at Japan now, the play that they want to do isn't happening, so they're on Sigma. Sigma makes sense on second point. It's one of my favorite maps to play. Sorry, I don't say favorite maps, but I do play Sigma a lot on Blizzard World because it kind of works well on second point, as what you're seeing that France is doing right now. But this is where like Japan now is kind of falling into that.
From that Bastion from afar, right? You dive.
They're going to be playing the same. They're going to be playing into what France wants to play right now. But I think Japan's shown that they're very good and they can make plays off that. I will say that they're doing the right thing of trying to take away the right side, but the problem is that France is set up very well right now. So we'll see. Traded on that. They traded right there. There goes Diana. Got Brock. Nice play. I feel like if France even loses this, then we'll see what Poco does.
Team Japan really investing in trying to get rid of the Sigma, and Poco's pretty safe, all things considered. I mean,
this actually worked out. France did that really good job there. That was a really good like individual play by Poco to go into their backline, because that would ended up being like a trade that allowed that basically made it so Japan couldn't like keep the numbers advantage there. So I was pretty happy with that one.
Super out of position right now.
Is Reaper ever using a lot of these? You won't see with too much Reaper. I mean, sometimes there's rush comps with Reaper, but it's very rare. Especially in the current Overwatch meta. Oh, we see that Genji that we saw earlier. We saw Brazil playing Genji. Nano will go too. Yeah, I was gonna say Genji. I thought maybe Sigma also, but
Maybe just trying to, again, be as aggressive as possible.
Yep, that's fine. Can tank the rock. Nice play.
Extremely low. And in that accretion animation, exposes himself to the damage from Nico.
I think Japan's going to take this.
Going to get there. FD God's not in a position to intervene.
This point, that is.
Up here for Francis. Avo heads to the high ground, and Nico wants to harass immediately Japan, knock them down.
And it feels like these are the moments that, like, when you see
here's what's going to be the difference maker of this point,
where, like,
right here specifically, okay?
Where, I mean, think about that. France is
a bingo card for World Cup games. I might do them live. I have to figure that out, though. Let me see if I can plan some stuff for fun, okay?
Really.
Let me see if I can get something figured out for BlizzCon, and maybe I will.
A little bit of a flank here.
So here's the thing.
Almost forced out block.
France has window. If Japan can disengage this window and survive it, Japan's going to be in a good spot. But this window, they have to disengage it.
Sure of your healing. Maybe like a off-angle turret. Oh, that's very cheeky. Thrown on the other side of the masonry. Are they going to get caught though inside the gravitic flux? And I like that from Kiki, trying to make sure he goes below half HP. The mortality field was in play, but here they come. Cloud going to get huge value off the detonations. And Kiki's blade is going to be there. The captive sun dragon blade.
They did exactly.
Yeah, there was a
they did exactly.
With like 2-3
okay, chat, listen, even if the live bingo is on a Friday, does not mean it's bingo Friday, first of all, chat. I see where you're going with that one, does not mean it's bingo Friday.
Nano coming up.
It just happens to be on a Friday, okay? That was a good play. That's what I meant, like, if you look at the odds, they're going to have to use their... Go now. Use Sojourn out, like, now? Maybe after the ECE?
Not beating those allegations. You know what ones I'm talking about. Nico going to back up here. Overclock in hand. A great body grenade connection.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, they're waiting on Nano. Okay, my mistake on that one. Nano is great here.
Stay alive here with that kinetic grasp, but gets blown to smithereens as KSG finishes the job. Nico and Overclock here, and FD God desperately wants to get involved. Avo down to half HP, and before he touches the ground, he's dead.
I'm gonna be real with you. Japan has been playing like very, very good Overwatch.
I mean, you can't.
Like straight up.
Really that early.
Japan has been playing very good Overwatch. France is too, but I think this was a little bit unexpected.
Like 88%, right?
But this is where that synergy comes into play, in my opinion.
88 to 100.
In my opinion, this is where that synergy comes into play, chat.
Right? I mean, that is an easy.
But that was very well played. Holy crap!
To be able to get the combo with Poco's Flux, which I think could have maybe been enough to hold there at the end.
Well played.
That is massive for Japan. It looked like they were going to actually.
Granted, no time on the clock. This means if France rolls, they can still have a good opportunity. But
like really
I'm going to be real with you. Japan played that well. Now, just the question is, does Japan come out with that Doomfist comp on defense or just commit to the Sigma comp? I wouldn't doubt if they start with the Doom comp.
And it wasn't even that.
Okay, they went Sigma comp. I only say that because I feel like France might be happy to see this type of mirror. Without, they're not running the mirror. Oh, wait a second, though. Oh.
Obviously, the damage amp.
Now, I could just be like,
a lot of work done there against the Sigma.
Here's my opinion on this comp. Hear me out, chat. France likes to play stacked.
It's not common
now,
focus the tanks down.
Imagine
first,
this.
Just where Poco ended up being
Ash Dynamite and Echo Stickies.
The tank was the most viable target there.
Let's see what happened.
So,
all at once.
Man, I can't wait for Bingo Friday.
Let's
go.
I mean, the homie's not even feeding. He's just trying to.
Poison Ivy, thanks for 200 bits. Thank you, appreciate it. It's on Bingo Friday, but thank you for 200 bits.
I don't know if I'd call the
That's what I'm saying. This could be a really, really good combo on this one.
Where the card is approaching.
Well, I like this new currently casting thing they have up on the screen. That's really cool. I like that.
I mean,
it's awesome that they do that because the casters have done an excellent job across the board. They've done an amazing job today. So, like, it's really cool that they put that up there on the screen. I like that.
Taking the Lucio out of the picture straight away. France, though, already trying to maneuver into a closer position to get themselves within striking distance of the point with this wraparound.
I like this from Japan, though. You have this Ash in the mix, right?
Yeah.
And get huge value at the dynamite just like that.
That is exactly what their comp is, by the way, chat. They know they're going to run this rush comp, so they run the Sigma because they're not working with the Doom comp, and they're just going for massive AoE damage the whole time. Like, they're just going for massive AoE damage. So they play off angles on them. Keep in mind, chat, the Sigma is the bait during that, right? Like, they have to, the Sigma's going to be the one that basically... It's actually the tank is going to struggle a little bit at times against the rush comp, but that's what Japan's doing. They're building like almost just like AoE damage comp. AoE is basically just like, you know, Ash Dynamite, Ana grenades, like things like that with splash damage, things that can like do a lot of damage, area of effect. I first learned that terminology in MMOs, so that's what that is.
France with that kill on the Sigma.
Yeah, I think what happened there was Japan wanted the Sigma to survive a little bit longer than they did, but France saw an opportunity to isolate the Sigma away from the team, and then when Japan went to go make the play, even though they had that good space and that Flash was referencing earlier, there was too much space. And what ended up happening was France was able to get to cover, and there was no value to be had with any of that play. I do think second point could work a little bit better for Japan on here. I wouldn't doubt it if France doesn't win the first couple team fights here, you see a shift in their comp. Maybe not actually. They're kind of set up for second point. Maybe you'll see them switch off of one of like the other comps.
Trying to take it, but he does want to draw KSG over there, so there's less defensive architecture for players on that high ground. Gives some opportunities for Nico and Chuki to get in there, find these kills.
Well, yeah, the reason why I explain AoE there, Chad's like, what do you mean? People don't know what AoE, like, to be honest, oh, nice pick. Holy crap, because that was about to be an outplay. I realized that when I mention CC a lot, too, people don't know what CC is either. So I just try my best to explain it, so it's a lot easier for people to, like, know what it is, because not everybody's going to know the same, like, that same type of terminology from other games, right? Like, some people haven't played an MMO or had that type of stuff, right? So, like, I try to explain it the best I can, so that way players know what it means when I'm referencing. Good job here by their Ayari. They're going to win this team fight. France can't really commit ultimates here unless they get a pick without an ult. That makes sense.
They're playing against the Sigma this time, so that is a scary prospect. Nico, though,
what is CC? Crowd control. Stuns, sleeps, hinders, like anything that like changes the speed or like sleeps your character, things like that.
Where able to take out Avo range, and then now this is where if you're Japan, burn as much clock as possible, right? Even if they get
Nano Ayari a viable choice? Absolutely.
Like this is a winnable situation because you've 100%. Completed the map.
They were playing Genji. We need to nerf Genji. Yep, 100%. I mean, you got to nerf Genji at that point.
Flux here for KSG might be an option. All of France were filtering out of this small room, but KSG, okay, gonna go for it anyway.
Huh?
Flux came out. Okay, Immortality Field was there to respond. Natlock's good deployment there. The Bastion ability.
They know that France is split a little bit, though. They know
that looked good.
Okay, now if
Lucky Charms takes to the tier 1 thing. Appreciate it.
That's dangerous.
This is gonna be a duplicate, yeah.
That's a good ult.
Flux that's going to catch Mihawk on the high ground. I think Cloud might try and keep him topped up so he doesn't die when he falls, and it works. They keep the Ghana alive. Coco really going for a solo play by there while the rest of his team.
Yo, I feel that, chat.
I mean, the healing from the Ilari is.
Listen, I mean, that is. If y'all watch the stream, that's an every map play. That happens to me all the time.
Plus the alternate fire from.
I'm glad you got to see that. We're in the World Cup right here, and you get to see that.
And now France
I'm telling you,
find themselves in some trouble.
Well, it feels like Cloud. He used that sound like 30 seconds ago. Already has another ultimate build up. Now,
that's why I always say my ult heals him.
There's no chance to follow up on that one. But look at these poke elements in play. You've got the Dynamite.
They try and speed out, right? You got Dynamite, right?
And the Dynamite, that's a pretty nice hit there. Poker as well, Nico both hit by that Bionic Grenade, and they're forced to stand.
By the way, you notice in the AoE damage now that strategy we're talking about, how it's playing? The whole strategy of France is to rotate, and they can survive. They have to go there kind of like inch by inch. What a wall. That Mei wall was excellent. I want to point that out. That right there was a point-winning Mei wall.
Yeah, I mean that one.
Maybe Japan can recontest, but they don't have speed boost. I think they're just gonna give up second.
Sound barrier in that Mei wall.
That Mei wall was unbelievable.
KSG in position, but there's some changes. You have a Bob here in the mix. Maybe they want to try and contest.
No, they're not going to contest.
I don't think there's enough time.
Oh, maybe they do. Wow, excuse me. My bad.
KSG on the Doomfist now, and Cloud going to get there to try and keep him standing. They can't keep the Doom alive. Bob got caught on the wrong side of the wall. Cloud was right dangling in front of the French front line. That was too tempting a morsel to refuse. Japan down 2-3. Not a whole lot they can do from the periphery of this fight. Will eventually be forced away.
I like it, though. Yeah, honestly, I like them going for that. You're basically just like, it's risk reward in a sense, but they did delay about 30 seconds. The downside is they lost Bob. But at the same time, to give you an idea, Bob against Bastion Mei on third point will not go well. Bob will fall over. So
at this point,
that's kind of like understanding the value of what ultimate you have there and going, why don't we commit this ultimate and see if we can either force out ultimates or buy time and build a couple ults. So, like, I get what they were going for. I don't mind that risk reward play. I don't mind that. I was going to laugh if they just fell off the map there.
In desperation, as it may appear.
Yeah, that Bastion was just like they wanted to survive as Echo. Oh, wait, did you see this flank? Wait, look at this chat. Yeah, so the reason why they're going in is they're getting flanked by two players.
Strikes gold. KSG
That's why they're running in here. They're getting flanked, so they wanted to get rid of that one. Basically, when a team is flanking you and doing exactly what you're seeing right now, what they're trying to do is they're trying to basically just... They're just trying to split, like, the team up. So what France's reaction is let's just commit to one part of the map, and now we have a 5v3, right? Now we have a 3v5, etc. So, like, they want to create that, but what happened is Japan did such a good job of surviving during that and committing their ultimates that now they're in a decent spot. Even if France caps, they're going to have an attack again.
Not have been able to live kind of through some of that damage that was coming down in a really tough spot, but look at this, trying to push in towards this Doomfist in these close quarters. Get a ton of impact with his ability.
To give you an idea, Japan's playing the equivalent. Ever watch the Soldier 76 like flank around the maps? They're playing the equivalent of that, but with a couple heroes that aren't Soldier 76. They split up the team. They trusted their team will survive on the front line, and they just flank you. But I will say, France has had a great reaction.
And they're going to get there, no doubt about it. Blizzard now just to seal
this is a competitive match, chat. Holy crap.
It's a 35-second
What a game.
Yeah, I mean, it took them a bit to break that second point hold, but once they did,
like straight up, what a game!
On their offense, just rolled right through that last phase of the map. Just France still had a little bit more time.
It's hard not to see.
I want to point out, by the way, chat, the comps might seem similar when they're running Sigma, but these teams play, the play styles of these teams is completely different. And you remember how when Emily had mentioned during her interview that Japan said they just scrimmed the EU team for the first time? One thing you'll find is that each region has different metas and different heroes that are played. So Japan and who they practice against consistently in their region is going to be a little bit different than what maybe the European region is playing against every single time. So you're seeing teams that are coming together with similar comps but playing them completely differently because their play styles are different. Japan's playing more of this dive flank type strategy where they kind of just surround you, and France is playing this really cohesive, stick together comp that relies on really good playing together and relying on each other to win a team fight. So you're seeing two different play styles come together, and it's really, really cool.
An opportunity to run this here, thinking that you're not going to be under any pressure.
Yeah, exactly.
God will chase you down though if he kind of sees you off on your own.
So here's where we're at.
To fight, you're willing to think that
Japan's comp is a very much
didn't seem like it made a lot of sense
all-in comp here.
Overall healing.
They don't want to take the poke. They want to make a really fast play because if they don't get the play, they have two fights. If France recognizes this, they'll fall back. They'll play it slow to minimize it to one fight.
Damage here for Cloud.
It's one fight now. Great job by France to back up right away. I will say this Zen swap is really, really interesting. Because they're just doing this to just get maximum amounts of damage out.
Position where gonna oversee the point and get that volley of orbs going down.
Right, hit somebody.
They had one player low there. Kuki, but he gets topped up and they lose Nico. That's huge. That's a lot of their stall.
That's it. It's so good.
No chance to get use of ice.
It's ridiculous. Do you see what they did?
Poco also falling. This is getting ugly for Team France now as Kuki looks to...
So, I'll explain this in a second.
Evo is able to at least stand on 2 feet here, but Japan want
their teamwork, if you were playing, if you saw that from France's point of view, you would be going, where are they going? What are they doing? What is happening? Right? So your decision making has to be instant. You need to be okay, we need to go here when it isn't. Oh, an Orisa swap. Okay, I'll explain the Orisa swap here. Orisa swap is about survivability here in overtime. They want to play a tank that has survivability on point, that can anchor the point and allow them to still be aggressive and make plays if they need to be. Orisa has good survivability more than any other tank. This is all about just being an anchor on the cart. Nothing more. Nothing more. They're just the anchor on the cart. That's what Orisa's doing.
He's down once more. KSG looking a little bit worse for wear, but
eventually... if you were hey, explain the strategy of this comp, it's just literally the Orisa's there to anchor. It has nothing to do with counter-in, matchups. It's just being an anchor on the cart. A guaranteed survivability tank in overtime.
Dupe the Diva to try and chase Avo down, but loses out in that duel. Rare thing to see from Diva. Although Kuki, of course, remember, builds that ultimate much quicker in Duke form, and that includes...
You see how everybody else doesn't have to worry about the cart? Like how nobody's on the cart? See this? They need to Zen ult that, yeah. The reason why they're Zen ult this is because they need to keep the Orisa alive. They could turn this fight, but it doesn't matter if that Orisa dies on point. See? But look at...
coming
Now the
back
Tracer's there.
He got very close to a sound barrier though and looks to try to force them off the cart here. Japan now down to 3 players. Mihawk does not. Just
good target focus.
Lucio a little bit late. And Japan looks like they're eventually going to be ground down. The
see that though?
Fizzles as France
Did you see how long that Orisa was able to survive for during those team
fights? Though that is a
that's why it's such a good play.
Push, right?
That's why it's such a good play, because it adds so much more survivability to the comp that they're playing that it gives them that opportunity to do that. That was a really good game. That was a really good game in my opinion. Like, well played.
Into this second point, and you can control high ground, especially if you want to play that Ashe again. I think Japan put themselves in a great spot to win this.
So what do they come out with? Is there value in opening with the Sigma
Why not
composition?
just play the Ashe again?
Yeah. That off-angle Ashe.
Here we go.
Try not to just lose your tank at the start of the fight.
Let's keep it going.
Yeah. I mean, I thought that comp was quite good.
Yeah, this is really good gameplay.
Play with the Doom here, right? Like the Sigma is not.
Yeah. They're going to play the Doom comp here. This is the same. This is the same strategy. They're playing the AoE comp. So what is? You're going why the Doom here? Why the Doom here? Okay. This is called.
The Doom is giving them trouble, right?
This is what I think is happening.
It's not like France is.
They played Sigma on this the first time. Okay.
Finishing him off, right? So
they played Sigma on this the first time.
If you're able to survive
France recognized that, isolated the Sigma.
Pretty impactful. The first go on defense can do it.
What happens if you remove that part of the team comp? What can France do? The only thing France is going to be able to do now is go to the point. Pen in the position is correct. So now they can play around there, and then the Doom can re-engage that point and give them better angles.
Significant prowess on that.
They're going Widow for an early pick. They're going to switch. That's it. There's an early pick spot right here where if people were playing top right, you can get a pick. They're just switching right now. It's not going to be a Widow. I want you to watch this point of view. Watch how they play this. They're going to play in a circle around them, like a half circle. Right? Yeah, and there it is. There's the AoE. You see that, chat? Remember the AoE comp we talked about?
And you lose both supports, like that is. I mean,
that was a dynamite
case scenario.
Echo right click. Over. Doom has good AoE damage, but like that's almost secondary to the comp. This Doom is just there for survivability. Doom is interrupting the play. Right? Doom is interrupting the play. Now look at France. They're switching off of that comp to prevent this. They're going to look for the Ana grenade. So what Poco's doing now is looking for the Ana grenade. They're playing for the Ana grenade to go in and make them purple. Poco's going to be paying attention to that Ana. Figure out where the Ana is, prevent the Ana grenade. That takes away half of what Japan's play is now, right? This gives them map control. This gives them map control, and then they can kind of go around the map and like start to force Japan back, which is what they're doing, right? Now they need to watch the Ana grenade. If they stop the Ana grenade here, they're going to be in a good spot. If they don't, then Japan's going to follow up immediately on those limbs. The reason why they took that side is they're setting up the Ana. So the Ana's going to get a high ground up around there. You see the Ana? That's why they're doing that. Problem is now, yep, there we go. For Japan, yeah, and there they go. They found the Ana in the room. They traded. It's a 3v3. Poco did touch in time. Ooh, this is tough. I don't know who wins this. Let me see what France has. I want to say this goes to Japan.
He doesn't care, but look at the spacing you can create.
This is Japan.
For your DPS, with the boop, it's actually pretty impressive. Poco's going to run out of gas here. There's no more juice left.
What a great adjustment.
We're going to go for just a celebration.
Straight up. What a great adjustment by Japan.
France at bay. That full hold is going to lock things up.
Keep in mind,
victory.
France is really, really good.
I think
so is Japan. And Japan's like teamwork and their style is also a lot different than a lot of play styles you'll see. Like you're not seeing much Doom right now, right? So not only are they probably not playing against many of these Doom comps, but they're just playing it. They just played that perfectly. That was so well played by Japan.
Really impressive.